Humanity splits into two groups, those who play and those who get played. This feeling has followed you your whole life. You enter a room and feel completely unseen. You notice certain individuals commanding attention without saying a word. They receive the opportunities. They receive the respect. They hold the power. And you push harder. You attempt to be kinder. You strive to be skilled. Yet you get overlooked. You are left questioning why your abilities aren't sufficient, why your virtue goes unrewarded. Here is the harsh reality that society is too courteous to share with you. Power has no interest in your intentions. It only responds to your leverage. You have been attempting to bond with influential people by playing the friend. But influential people do not need additional friends. They need assets. They need mirrors. They need protection. If you wish to enter the circles where the true decisions get made, you must destroy the part of yourself that craves validation. You must stop seeking permission to take up space. Niccolò Machiavelli penned The Prince over 5 centuries ago, not as a guide for the cruel but as a handbook for reality. He recognized that human nature at its foundation is governed by self-interest, fear, and vanity. If you disregard this, you will forever remain a pawn. If you master it, you become the hand directing the pieces. Over the next few minutes, we will tear apart the lies you have been fed about networking. We will examine Machiavelli's 13 ruthless laws of human connection. These are not suggestions. They are psychological weapons. By the conclusion of this, you will no longer look at a powerful person and perceive a superior. You will see a puzzle and you will possess the sole key that unlocks it. But consider this warning. Once you notice the strings, there is no returning to life as a puppet. Most people fail because they approach power with an outstretched hand, pleading for a favor. They believe connection means simply being authentic. That is false. Authenticity is a privilege reserved for those who already hold power. For those ascending the ladder, connection demands strategic adaptation. It means becoming precisely what the other person needs to perceive until you are so woven into their world that they cannot operate without you. But how do you accomplish this without surrendering your soul? How do you shape the perception of the powerful without turning into a sycophant? The answer resides in a psychological principle known as the void. But to grasp the void, you must first comprehend the 13 laws. Let us start. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The initial error people make is attempting to impress. You encounter someone influential and your ego seizes control. You want to demonstrate how brilliant you are, how talented, how knowledgeable you are. You believe this gains respect. It does not. It generates insecurity. Powerful individuals are frequently the most fragile. Their identity rests on being the smartest, the toughest, or the most visionary individual in the room. If you arrive shining too brightly, you do not appear as an asset. You appear as a threat. Machiavelli cautioned us. It is always perilous to seem superior to those above you. When you cause your superior to look diminished or even slightly lesser by comparison, you activate their survival instinct. They will destroy you not because you lack skill, but because you pose a danger to their ego. So what is the approach? Lower your brightness. Make them appear brilliant. When you present an idea, phrase it in a manner that makes it appear to be their concept. Pose questions that let them deliver the answer. Nourish their vanity. This is not weakness. This is camouflage. By letting them feel dominant, you disarm their defenses. You become harmless, and once you are harmless, you are granted entry past the walls. While they are occupied admiring their own reflection, you are silently studying their vulnerabilities, mapping their habits, and solidifying your position. Let them claim the glory. You seize the influence. Law 2. Hide your intentions. A predictable person is a controllable person. If I understand what you desire, I understand how to use you. If I see you chase money, I can purchase you. If I see you crave praise, I can charm you. Most people display their desires across their faces. They approach powerful people and their eyes broadcast. I need something from you. This stinks of desperation, and desperation is the ultimate repellent. To connect with power, you must remain a cipher. Machiavelli counseled, keep your allies close, but your intentions even closer. Be impossible to read when you walk into a room. Never expose your endgame. Discuss everything except business. Discuss art, philosophy, their passions, the wine, anything that humanizes the exchange. Let them question why you are present. Mystery generates attraction. When they cannot decipher what you seek, they grow fascinated. They begin projecting their own wishes onto you. They start pursuing you to decode the puzzle. Never reveal your cards until the pot belongs to you. Stay friendly. Be open. Be engaging. But keep the essence of your ambition sealed in a vault where nobody can access it. The less they understand about your motives, the greater power you wield in the negotiation. Law 3. Appeal to self-interest, never to compassion. This is where the kind-hearted finish last. You require a favor. You require a mentor. You require an investment. So you approach a powerful individual and share your sad story. You describe your hardships. You speak about how deeply you merit an opportunity. You appeal to their gratitude, their generosity, their conscience. And they may smile, they may nod, but they will take no action. Why? Because mercy is a weight. Powerful people are occupied. They are endlessly bombarded by individuals requesting assistance. If they assisted everyone who merited it, they would be drained and bankrupt. Machiavelli stated it plainly. It is preferable to be feared than loved if you cannot achieve both. But within the framework of connection, it translates to this. It is preferable to be needed than admired. Do not request favors. Propose transactions, but disguise the transaction as a partnership. Discover what they require. Do they have a competitor they wish to defeat? Do they face a problem they cannot resolve? Do they have a vanity endeavor that is floundering? Present yourself as the answer to their struggle. When you address them, do not discuss your needs. Discuss their priorities. I notice you are dealing with X. I have a method to resolve it that will save you time. Now you are not a supplicant. You are a collaborator. Self-interest is the sole language that is universally spoken. Master it fluently and doors will swing open. Law 4. The craft of strategic absence. We exist in an era of constant availability. You respond to messages instantly. You accept every meeting invitation. You are perpetually present. You assume this demonstrates commitment. It actually communicates low worth. The laws of economics govern human behavior. Scarcity generates value. When you are always accessible, you become ordinary. Ordinary things hold no value. Influential people guard their time because it remains the single resource they can never purchase more of. Handing out your time for free sends the message that it holds no value. Machiavelli understood that a ruler seen too frequently becomes unremarkable. You must master the art of withdrawal. Show warmth when you appear. Be completely present. Let them feel as though they are the sole person alive. Then vanish. Do not pick up the phone on the first ring. Do not be free for coffee next Tuesday. Maintain a life. Pursue a mission. Keep a schedule that does not center around them. This accomplishes two things. First, it demonstrates you are someone of worth who has other prospects. Second, it triggers the Zygarnik effect, an unresolved loop inside their mind. They begin to wonder where you are, what you are up to, who surrounds you. Your absence occupies real estate in their thoughts. And when you finally reappear, your presence feels like a gift, not an expectation. Leverage absence to fuel the flames of respect. Law 5, the Narcissus mirror. Every person is enamored with themselves. Even the most outwardly modest leader is privately fixated on their own perspective. They desire to be understood. They hunger for validation of their worldview. Most people attempt to bond by speaking about themselves. I accomplished this. I believe that. This is static. To bond with power, you must serve as a mirror. Reflect their self-image back, but subtly improved. When they are bold and rapid in speech, you accelerate your delivery. Mirror their body language. When they are deliberate and reflective, you decelerate. You turn contemplative. Synchronize your breathing. Synchronize your language. When they deploy war metaphors, you deploy war metaphors. When they employ sports analogies, you employ sports analogies. This goes beyond simple mimicry. It is neurological attunement. When you mirror a person skillfully, their subconscious mind categorizes you as familiar. This person resembles me, so I can rely on him. So he must be intelligent. You are circumventing their rational mind and communicating straight to their primal brain. People do not seek to be questioned. They seek to be affirmed. Serve as confirmation of their genius. When they gaze at you, let them witness the finest version of themselves reflected back. They will grow dependent on your company because you make them feel seen in a way nobody else achieves. Law 6. Position yourself as the gatekeeper of intelligence. In the ancient world, territory meant power. In today's world, information equals power. Yet not just any information, confidential information. Influential people are frequently isolated. They find themselves surrounded by sycophants who feed them what they wish to hear. They are desperate for honesty, desperate for the heartbeat of the streets. If you can become the one delivering valuable, raw intelligence, you make yourself irreplaceable. You serve as their eyes and ears. Were you aware of what the competition is preparing? I discovered a vulnerability in the system that nobody is bringing to your attention. A market shift is happening that demands your awareness. Never be a rumor monger. Be a strategic intelligence gatherer. Curate insights that shield them or provide them an advantage. When you deal in secrets, you raise your standing. You cease to be an outsider. You become a conspirator. And no bond surpasses the bond shared between fellow conspirators. But heed this warning. Never expose all your sources. Preserve the monopoly over your intelligence pipeline. If they can obtain the intelligence without you, they have no need for you. Conceal the source. Present the fruit. Law 7. The principle of the useful enemy. Nothing unites two people more quickly than a common adversary. Sociologists term this in-group out-group bias. We gravitate toward people who despise the same things we despise. When you seek to bond with an influential person, discover what they loathe. Do they detest inefficiency? Do they detest red tape? Do they detest a particular competing ideology? Do they despise the current order? Position yourself alongside that contempt. Affirm their frustration. It is unbelievable how mediocre this industry has gotten. That is precisely your point. When you affirm their adversaries, you affirm their battle. You affirm their heroism. You are declaring, I recognize the dragon you are battling, and I stand here to offer you the blade. Exercise caution against being solely negative. It must be a righteous outrage. We are among the few rational ones in a sea of insanity. This forges a cult-like bond between you both, us versus the world. And within the trenches of that perceived battle, profound allegiance is built. Law 8. Cater to their fantasy. Machiavelli recognized that people do not inhabit reality. They inhabit fantasies of who they ought to be. The ruthless CEO yearns to view himself as a generous patriarch. The unpredictable artist yearns to view herself as a focused visionary. The anxious politician yearns to view himself as a rescuer. Your task is to pinpoint their fantasy and assume the supporting role. When they wish to be the sage mentor, you become the enthusiastic pupil. Seek their counsel. Allow them to instruct you. Allow them to feel sagacious. When they wish to be the rebel, you become the partner in crime. When they wish to be the monarch, you become the faithful knight. Never compel them to confront their reality. Reality brings pain. That is precisely why they have wealth to shield themselves from it. Should you be the single person who upholds their illusion, they will guard you with their life. Because once you depart, the fantasy collapses. You become the foundation supporting their self-perception. This sounds manipulative because it is. Yet remember, we are not discussing genuine friendship. We are discussing how to connect with power, and power is performance. Study your lines, perform your role. Law 9, Mastering Emotional Alchemy. Powerful individuals live under extreme stress. They shoulder the burden of empires, workforces, and vast fortunes. Their inner landscape is frequently a tempest of worry and tension. Most people contribute to that tempest. They introduce problems. They introduce conflict. They introduce urgent messages. To become untouchable, you must embody the calm. You must serve as the emotional anchor. When they are frenzied, you are measured. When they are furious, you are composed. You must learn to transform their energy, absorb their turmoil, and project back clarity. I grasp the issue. Here is the resolution. It is handled. Those 3 words, "it is handled," are the most compelling words you can utter to an influential person. You are lifting the burden from their shoulders. You become a refuge. They will begin to anticipate meetings with you. Not due to the business itself, but due to how you make them feel. You make them feel secure. You make them feel in command. In a world of noise, become the silence. In a world of flame, become the water. If you can reduce their cortisol, you can increase your price. Law 10. Assume formlessness. Machiavelli praises the fox for its capacity to adapt. Bruce Lee said, "Be water. The rigid break, the flexible endure." When dealing with power, you cannot maintain a rigid ego. You must adapt to each situation. Certain days you must be aggressive. Other days you must be submissive. Some days you must lead. Other days you must follow. Do not cling to one identity. If you insist on being yourself, you will conflict with those who do not fit your mold. Formlessness serves as defense. If you lack shape, you cannot be struck. Without a fixed shape, you can slip through any keyhole. Match the culture of the person you are engaging with. If they are formal, don a suit. If they are casual, wear jeans. If they drink whiskey, you drink whiskey. Eliminate the friction. Make it effortless for them to absorb you into their world. The ideal spy is the one who looks identical to the citizens. Blend in so you can stand out when it counts. Law 11. Create dependence. This is the ultimate Machiavellian law. Make yourself indispensable to those above you. If they can replace you with a LinkedIn job listing, you are vulnerable. You must weave yourself into the very fabric of their success. Identify a task they despise doing, but that is critical to their survival, and master it. Claim ownership of a client relationship they cannot afford to lose. Hold the keys to a system only you comprehend. Become the bridge between them and something they desire. If you are the bridge, they cannot burn you. Do not teach them how to perform what you do. Keep the skill mysterious. The more they depend on you for their peace of mind, the greater power you hold. Independence is a myth in networking. The objective is mutual entanglement. You want them to wake at 3 a.m. thinking, "My God, what would I do if your name departed?" Once you achieve that thought within their mind, you have won. You can request the raise. You can request the partnership because you are no longer an employee. You are an organ, and you do not remove your own heart. Law 12. Control the options. The most powerful person in the room is not the one barking orders. It is the one who designed the menu. When you present choices to a powerful person, do not offer them infinite options. That creates decision fatigue. Curate the options. We can choose A which risks X, or we can choose B which gains Y. Frame the choices so that the option you prefer them to select is the only logical one. This is the illusion of control. You let them decide so they feel like the king, but you constructed the road they are traveling on. Machiavelli advised, A wise prince should rely on what is in his own control, not on what is in the control of others. By controlling the framework of the discussion, you control the outcome. Never pose open-ended questions such as, "What do you want to do?" That is lazy. Instead say, "Here are the 3 paths I recommend. Path 2 is the strongest." What is your command? You handle the thinking. They handle the authorizing. You are the architect. They are the signatory. Law 13. Radical autonomy. And here we reach the final, most important law. The paradox that makes all other laws function. To connect with powerful people, you must not need them. If your soul depends on their approval, they will sense it. They will sense the hunger and they will treat you like a fan. Genuine power recognizes genuine power. You must cultivate a sense of radical autonomy. You must have your own kingdom, even if it is modest. You must have your own code, your own vision. You must be prepared to walk away from the deal. The person who is prepared to walk away holds all the leverage. When you sit across from a billionaire, you must know deep in your bones that you will be fine without them. You are not there to take. You are there to exchange. This energy shift transforms everything. Your voice drops an octave. Your eye contact lingers a second longer. You stop fidgeting. You become grounded. And that solidity is magnetic. Powerful people are isolated because everyone around them is fluid, bending to their will. When they encounter someone who is solid, someone who respects them but does not worship them, they are captivated. Be the rock. Be the sovereign of your own mind. Connect from a place of wholeness, not a place of lack. Take a breath. Let those laws settle in. I know what you are thinking. This sounds cold. This sounds calculating. This sounds manipulative. It is. But look around you. Look at the world you inhabit. Look at the structures of your company, your government, your society. Do you believe they were built on hugs and transparency? Or were they built on strategy, leverage, and knowledge of human nature? You have a choice. You can stay innocent. You can cling to the notion that the world should be fair. You can remain in the passenger seat complaining about the driver, or you can seize the wheel. Machiavelli was not evil. He was honest. He gazed into the abyss of human behavior and did not blink. He observed that we are driven by fears, by ego, by the need for security. To apply these laws is not to exploit people. It is to understand them better than they understand themselves. It is to speak to their shadows, not merely their masks. When you employ these laws, the dynamic shifts instantly. You stop being invisible. You stop searching for a savior and you become the strategist. You realize that powerful people are merely players who learned the rules earlier than you did. They are waiting for someone authentic, someone who comprehends the game to walk through the door. That someone is you. The 13 laws are not chains. They are keys. But holding the keys is pointless if you do not have the discipline to turn the lock. This level of psychological mastery is not a destination. It is a daily practice. The world is designed to lull you back to sleep, to render you compliant, to make you a pawn. If you refuse to rejoin the herd, if you are ready to sharpen your mind until it cuts through the noise, then make the decision right now. Do not merely watch passively. Hit the subscribe button not to support the channel but to form a contract with yourself to signal that you are done being a spectator. Welcome to the inner circle.